Hello, hello. Hi there. Happy Thursday. I hope you can hear my voice already. It may be a slight delay because of where I'm located. It is another rainy, cold, windy, cloudy day. Um, and even though I'm wearing gray, and even though the interior of my car is gray, and even though it's raining today, I am going to bring you the sunshine, okay? And we're going to do that through talking about gratitude and maintaining an attitude of gratitude because today is another beautiful, brand new, and blessed day. Welcome to another episode of your daily dose of vitamin D3, where I am giving you all the enlightening conversations, stimulating conversations, the sunshine, right? In a cloudy day, being the rainbow in the sky on a dark and gloomy day such as today, and all the things. So, this is going to hopefully penetrate your soul today because what I want to talk about and what I talk about a lot on my channel is one of my core values, and that is gratitude. Because, let's imagine a world where gratitude, being able to express gratitude more, opening up more and expressing love and positivity and spreading joy and healing and, just all the goodness of humanity amongst each other. Do you know that that is the cornerstone of humanity and of community building? Hello there. Thanks for the love. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Trap My Ride. Trap My Ride. I like that name. So I appreciate all of the love. So we're talking about gratitude today because, as you may know, if you've been following me for a while, and if you're new here, welcome. I like to tap into gratitude each and every day, right? And every single day, religiously, without fail, that's the first thing I do in the morning. I wake up with prayer and meditation, and I make sure that I am reflecting on my life. I am thanking God, my creator, for all of the blessings, right? I am making sure that I continue to count my blessings before I do anything else. Why? Because it's necessary. It's necessary. Any day above ground is a great day. I don't care what it is we're going through. And so when you wake up, as soon as you open your eyes, it is so necessary. It actually shifts your energy and it allows you to open yourself up to receive more of what it is you want, what you're praying for, what you're wishing for, what you're hoping for. And oftentimes when we think about gratitude, we may think about it in that way, but not necessarily so much in the way that I'm going to talk about it today when it comes to how that builds a stronger community. Gratitude. So when we're grateful for what we already have and thankful for what we have, we are opening up the doors to receive more of that, right? And then some. Things that that we may have not even asked for specifically, but we'll get more good things in our lives. So that is so, so key. Thank you so much. The compliment on my earrings. And so it's really important that we talk about how we can build community through being more expressive in what we're grateful for. And so I want to give you some real life examples of what that looks like, okay, so that you can actually take away from this message today and go do the thing. Okay, so I'm out and about, regardless of the rain or shine, I'm coming to bring you the sunshine today, okay? Because it's really critical to different areas of our lives where it is we want to see success. And sometimes when we're thinking we're doing all the right things to be successful, but we're wondering why we're not achieving it or accomplishing the things that we are set out to accomplish and achieve, oftentimes the thing that's looking us right in the face, we may be overlooking, right? The thing that's very obvious and right in our face, we may be overlooking. It's an oversight on our part. And oftentimes we spend a lot of time in the problems, like living in the problems, rather than finding the solutions. And the solution oftentimes live within gratitude. So if you can even find ways to be grateful, even in a negative situation, even in a really poor predicament, even in a really tough circumstance that you might be in right now in current times as we speak, you still can find, if you can see just a glimmer of hope If you can see or recall when you've been through a time like this before or something similar or worse, and you've overcome that, if you are still here today, you've survived that thing and you're living in the moment right now, and you're no longer going through whatever that tough time was before, this is the exact reason why you need to be grateful, right? Because people spend so much time bitching, griping, and complaining about whatever their issues are, never thinking about how others have it worse, never thinking about the people that didn't wake up today, the people that lost homes, the people that lost loved ones, the people that are going through a grievance period because they lost their job, the people who are living in cars, living on the streets, right? People in the communities who need our help. And yet we spend so much time so often about what we don't have enough of and how bad our lives is, and oh my gosh, I can't believe this hasn't happened for me yet, and why me, and woe is me, and all the sob sad stories and the sorrow. But you woke up today, and tomorrow definitely is not promised, nor is the next breath you take, right? So thank you so much. Yes, it's all about positivity here. I'm giving you all the positive vibes because, you know, this world needs so much love and so much healing because we are going through so much individually and collectively as a community, to the point that people, I mean, this is the reason why suicidal and homicidal rates are high, right? Because people don't feel that love. They don't feel like they have the positive, supportive environment. That's why people come on to live streams like mine and others and they troll, right? Because they lack the love. They lack the support. They don't have anything and anyone to look up to. They don't have role models. You know, miserable people are miserable, and they want others to be miserable with them because of what they lack. But see, that's a scarcity mindset. We've got to operate from an abundance, a place of abundance, not scarcity, not lack, because there's enough of everything for everybody, right? Anything that anybody has ever had, you are not exempt from having. So how then do we build community using gratitude, which is the main point I'm making here? But I wanted to kind of dial it in by starting with us, because it starts with us first. Okay. So when we wake up in the morning, what I always suggest as a prescription, right, to your pains, to your sorrows, to whatever it is you're going through, is to find gratitude in what you do have. You may not have the best of whatever it is you're wanting and what you need, right? But do you have the bare necessities? Do you have, you can talk about how you have family. You can talk about how you have breath, how you woke up this morning, how you have a car to drive. It may not be the best car. It may not be the best neighborhood you live in, right? But you do have a roof over your head. Think of all the things, right? You have health. You have your good health. I hope you're in good health, right? You have people who love you. I pray that for you. You have, so many things to be grateful for. And I mean beyond the material things, even though I named some material things, but I'm talking about the basic necessities and then beyond the basic necessities. So when you know what you're grateful for, you can then go out there and spread more of that gratitude to others. And so here are some real life examples and how gratitude transforms lives, other people's lives aside your own, and how it builds community. Okay. Gotta go grab, what does that say? Gotta go for now. I'll be back to see you sometime. Okay. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you for the compliment on my nails. I know they're kind of eye catchers, right? You never know what color you're going to get just depending on which way I turn them. Listen, it's Black History Month and it's Valentine's Day, the month of love. I'm representing both right here, okay? I have to get creative. I love being unique. So thank you for the compliments, very much so. I appreciate it. Okay. Let me make sure before we move on that there aren't any other questions or comments. But if you have to leave, I understand. You can catch me on the replay. And be sure you share this video out with 3 other people. There's at least somebody else, 3 other people I'm sure that you know who can benefit from this message today. So let me go ahead and give you some real life examples on how we can foster a stronger community and how we can use gratitude as the foundation of our communities by spreading more positivity and love. All right. So let me go to my notes because I want to go ahead and just get right to the point so that you can get in and out of here. Because I know a lot of times I want to do a quick live stream and then it ends up being 30 minutes, 40 minutes. We're not doing that today, okay? Because I do have some things I got to take care of and I want you to be able to get on with your day. This is a daily dose, not necessarily a long, lengthy conversation all of the time, okay? But one of the first examples is in many neighborhoods, community gardens is a thing. Now, I don't know about where you live. Maybe you can find some not too far from you, but in my neighborhood, we do actually have a beautiful botanical garden. Beautiful. And neighbors gather around. It is like a centerpiece of the community, truly a cornerstone for sure for gratitude. And people go there and they socialize and they just kind of get together in communion, right? And they contribute. They contribute to the garden. There are people to help maintain it. There are people who are there to support one another. And, it's just a place that's beautiful. The vibes are nice. Sometimes they have a nice, event there, right? Where they are, having speakers come and they're allowing people to just kind of get up and say what they're grateful for. It's just a whole vibe. It's really nice. You can get cocktails there when they have certain events. They might be playing some nice music, jazz oftentimes, right? Or nice lounge music while people kind of socialize. So it's just a really nice vibe. You can get, some famous wines because I don't live too far from the wineries here in SoCal. And so sometimes they just bring this to the neighborhood in the botanical garden, but it is a great way for people to get together. Again, the community to congregate, to give thanks, to just socialize, and to think about ways in which that they can make the community better and stronger. So that's one example, okay? Another one would be local business initiatives. So there's lots of ways that you can get, support your local businesses. Like, for example, here's a great example, actually. When we were going through the pandemic not long ago, right? Time has flown by, so we're 5 years past that date, or let's see, it happened in 2020. So yeah, we're in the 5th year beyond that date when the pandemic happened, but we're now post-pandemic and lots of things have changed in life, right? For the better. And so, one of the things that people were doing at the time was really coming together to support local businesses, and local businesses were also supporting their community. How? For example, what about, how we now have Uber and Lyft and, and they're now delivering food to us, right at our front door, right? We have apps like Instacart that's now delivering groceries right to our front door. So we have these conveniences, right? We have different apps where, like, if you're getting meal preps, those companies are now delivering food to you for your convenience so that it saves you time and money, actually, depending on how many, you have to feed in your family and what actually you're ordering. Like, there's so many conveniences that we're having now post-pandemic that were very convenient during the pandemic, but it's still convenient today, right? Another thing that was happening is residents were then giving thanks and going to help out with some of these different local grocery supermarkets and grocery stores, and just some of the stores that were closing down where they might have needed help, right? Because there was a mandate and there was closures and, lots of things going on that we weren't used to, that we had to adjust to and become accustomed to. And that became the new norm for a while, right? So there were people that was going to offer their services. So volunteer services, we can do that still today with businesses that, and it doesn't have to be, it's different times now. It's not during the pandemic necessarily, but how can you go support your local church or your local business, your local, I don't know what schools, right? That's a really big one, right? Because kids need our services. They need our support as far as tutoring, right? They need our support as far as just mentoring. Some of them don't go home to, a nice hot plate of food. They're lacking, right? Because they're not as privileged as we are. And as our children may be right now, or may have been if you had younger children once upon a time, and now they're not young, but you still have children nonetheless, so you can recall what that feels like, right? So how can you support some of these types of even colleges, right? That's a higher level of education, but I have been an alumni before at the college that I went to. So there are so many things that you can do and ways that you can give back to show your appreciation and give your, show that you are grateful for what you have and what you're able to give as a result of where you are right now. Okay. So these are ways to strengthen the community. Neighborhood appreciation days. And I'm looking at my notes here. Neighborhood appreciation days. So neighbors can come together, be in each other's presence, make contributions, right? Activities might include things like sharing meals and organizing games and publicly acknowledging individuals who go above and beyond for their neighbors. So these are some of the ways in which you can highlight some of the people who are in your neighborhood. You know what the people in my neighborhood do? Mostly the young adults and even the older children. They will go and help out, even though most of the neighbors, because I live in a pretty affluent neighborhood, so mostly everybody has a gardener, right? But some of these kids or some of these older adults will offer some of the older adults, some of the elders, to wash their cars, to do a detail on their cars, or to run errands, or to help them with groceries, or to save them some time and run errands, right? And that's such a feel-good vibe, right? When a younger child or, an older child or a young adult goes up to an older person and they offer to do these kinds of services at no charge, right? Just simply out of the kindness of their heart. That's a beautiful thing. So that's what goes on in my neighborhood and what I see going in other neighborhoods surrounding me. So that potentially can be something you offer. I saw something recently on YouTube. I can't remember the channel or the guy's name, but he literally goes and seeks out areas where, an older person typically lives, like in a particular neighborhood, and you can see that the grass, that the lawn, that the garden is everything in their like their whole surroundings is just really not well maintained. Like maybe they don't have somebody to do that for them. And so this guy will go knock on the door. He'll check in with the neighbors if he doesn't get someone to answer the door. And he'll keep knocking until he gets someone to answer. Eventually, someone comes to the door, and what he will offer is to cut their lawn. Like, it's really out of control. It's as if it has not been maintained in years, okay? So I just think that is such a nice thing to do. He does not charge them. I think it's a great way for him to get really great testimonials, right, in real time, because he shows this in real time on YouTube. Or maybe he doesn't do it as a live stream like I am, but he records the video and then he puts it up, and he's getting more people interested in doing this work. But he does this absolutely for free. And if you see these yards, they are so, oh my gosh, they're so unkempt and not managed at all. But when he's done, it looks beautiful, amazing. So that's something else to consider. I'm not saying you got to go around cutting lawns, but I also named some other things that you could consider, right? Another thing is gratitude letters to public servants like doctors and nurses and teachers, right? Healthcare workers, like so many people, firefighters, police officers. When I recently did this, actually, so my son had a situation where his car was parked in that he had to park one of his cars. He only has one car now. But when he had a second car, he left that car in our neighborhood. And It was sitting there for a while on a side street instead of in front of our actual home. And long story short, it was right in the middle of being towed by it because a neighbor had called and said, this car's been sitting here. We don't know whose it is. We don't know if it's abandoned. So they called apparently the police to come check it out. And then a tow truck came out. Well, long story short, the police officer, I went and talked to him, a really, really, really nice guy. He ended up having the tow truck take the car. They started to tow it. It hadn't been pulled up all the way, but he had that whole process stopped right in the midst of it. And because he went out of his way to do that, and then he did a really nice thing for the tow truck guy who came out to tow it. It was just, you don't find that happening as often these days, but that was a really nice act of kindness, right? That he didn't have to do. He could have said, miss, I understand how you're frustrated right now. I'm not sure which neighbor called. Had we known that it was your son's car, we would have just come knock on your door, but we didn't know. And by the time the neighbors mentioned something to us, we were already towing it in. But I'm so glad you came around and had this conversation with me, and we're sorry for the inconvenience. And they took it off the tow, okay, or stopped the tow from pulling it up. So I went out of my way to then go get him a thank you card because we had some conversation. I knew that he was married, so I got a box of chocolates for his wife, a nice thank you card to him. It's just a nice thing to do. I went down to the precinct where he was located. He had given me his business card, so I knew where he was located. Went over there and gave him this, and he was just stunned, super surprised. And it just did my heart so much good. It warmed my whole entire soul. So it's just little things like that. I remember when my son was younger, I would write letters to his teachers, and I would have him sit beside me, and we would write little love notes to his teachers, his favorite teachers, the teachers who made the greatest impact on his life in his school years. So it's things like that that you can do to offer, just gratitude, to express your gratitude to public servants. What about the firefighters here in Southern California, where I'm currently located? Thank God we need these rainy days, right? The firefighters needed these rainy days when the fires were out of control, right? The wildfires were really wilding out and they could not get it under control. Thank God they have those fires contained now, but they could have used a little help from, the rain, right? But we were experiencing a drought at the time and high winds, and we don't still know if the fires were started by arsenal or what was really going on, right? And it's going to be a while before they actually find out, and they may never know. But the reality is, let's be grateful for the rain, the snow, the sun, right? The blue skies, the cloudy days, the rainbows, right? The stars in the sky at night, the cold days, the warm days. Like, let's be grateful for all of it, because all of the elements matter. We need them all. That's how we're living around, at least in my area, and may probably be true where you're living. We have this lush, beautiful greenery, right? How? Because the soil needs rain. So let's be grateful for that. All right. So, and then the fifth example is recognizing volunteer recognition programs. Okay. An example of that might be nonprofits and community organizations. Oftentimes they hold events that you could participate in, that you can volunteer your services for, right? And that's a way to express gratitude, not only to foster the environment, but community building as well. As we talked about, gratitude is the cornerstone of community building. So these are just ways that community thrives, right? This is how communities are resilient. And this is a great way to illustrate your gratitude. So I just wanted to offer you some real examples in how you can think about building community, not just being grateful for yourself and for your family and for the things that you have, which is always, best practice, right? Make sure you do that every day. As soon as you open up your eyes and throughout the day, just be finding things that you're grateful for and what you're blessed to receive and what you want more of. It's just be so thankful for the things that you have right now. Okay, even in the hard times. So I hope that was helpful and that you really got value from this. If so, make sure again that you share this out. That is the best way that you can compliment me in the value you're getting, is to comment for sure. In the replay, make a, you can, in the replay, it's comments. And if you're here in real time, it's in the chat. I always have to remember to say that, because when I say chat and people are watching this on the replay, they're like, how do I comment in the chat? You know what I mean? So, but these are real things that you can do. And let me know what it is you're going to do, what you've done before. Have you done any of these things that I just talked about? Have you ever considered it? Have you ever even thought ever to yourself how you can be a bigger part of the picture and contributing to humanity in this way and building a stronger, more resilient community? This is the way it starts, right? It starts with us. It starts with us contributing to our communities. And that is how we really branch out to making this world a better place than what it was when we got here and what it will be when we leave, right? So that is the whole point of this, is to make sure that we spread more love, more joy, more positivity, and more peace and prosperity to all who deserve it. And we all deserve it. We all deserve a better life. And so let's be intentional each and every day about the things that we're grateful for, and intentional about the random acts of kindness and the good deeds we do, and the ways in which we contribute to our society as a whole, individually and collectively, for the better and greater good of our community and, once again, humanity. Okay, so thank you so much for tuning in. And be sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed to my channel yet. If you are loving this content, we're doing this daily dose of vitamin 3 every single day, Monday through Friday. And then, of course, I have my regular scheduled content 3 times a week. Okay. Hello. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for the love. You're just getting here right at the end, but you can certainly go back and watch this on the replay and let me know in the comments how this was helpful to you. I do gotta go, okay? So that's my time. I'm gonna tune out while you tune in. Be sure to share this video out with a friend, a colleague, an associate, right? A family member, your biz besties, at least 3 people you know, because somebody needs to hear this message today. As always, and until next time, I am wholeheartedly in this journey with you, and that is your daily dose of vitamin D3. Bye for now.